My Green Lab is a nonprofit organization in the life science industry dedicated to advancing sustainability in what has historically been a pretty wasteful industry in terms of energy, water, materials, and the use of toxic chemicals and waste. So we operate a Green Lab certification, really the leading Green Lab certification in the world that helps promote sustainable lab practices and a culture of sustainability in science. But while you can encourage people to operate a lab in a sustainable way, unless the actual products that they're purchasing are truly sustainable, you can't create a truly green lab. So we've launched a new program, ACT, which is a labeling system for green lab products to help push manufacturers to be more sustainable and verify when they've achieved those targets and goals. It stands for accountability, consistency, and transparency, and it's one of the first eco-labels to really get traction in the life science industry. The benefit of ACT for manufacturers is really twofold. It's both a framework and a process to improve the environmental performance of your product, the packaging, use of toxic chemicals in production or elimination of toxic chemicals in production, manufacturing impact reduction, as well as efficiency of the product itself. And then it's a third-party verification that you've achieved a certain level of performance. So it provides both an internal tool and then an external verification that you've achieved those targets that are verified by an independent third party. So for a purchaser, by purchasing ACT-labeled products, you're able to use your purchasing power to drive change in the life science industry market. Yeah, so it's been amazing how many people we've had stop by the booth. We had over 200 people stop by yesterday, and I think universally everyone recognizes that laboratory environments in the life science industry has a lot of challenges when it comes to energy and water consumption, and particularly waste. And I think that the industry is really growing and starting to recognize that the environmental impact of life science industry is really key, and laboratory changing behaviors, changing processes, changing the type of products that they're using is really key to impact and change the course of the industry to reduce its environmental impact. Yeah, I think for a manufacturer of products, the ACT label is a great way, at least to begin thinking about benchmarking and improving your products with a long-term goal of getting certification and then using that as a way to communicate to your customers. I think manufacturers actually have a really cool opportunity and in fact a responsibility to educate their customers about sustainable practices, and it's great to see companies like Cool LED that do that actually bring their technology and their knowledge to laboratory environments and researchers to help them understand how to reduce their impact. If you're a lab yourself or you're a researcher, My Green Labs has a bunch of resources on their website, and then they also offer really the world's leading lab certification. So you can actually pursue certification for your lab, which both educates everybody internally and then verifies again when you meet a certain level of performance. You know, I think one thing that's been really interesting to me, who's relatively new to the industry, to learn is on a university, for example, a lab will consume 50% of energy, 50% of water, and actually be about 50% of overall university spend on products. And so they're a really key opportunity to shift the damaging environmental impact. And one way to think about laboratory environments being so high energy and water consuming is that that's a problem. I think another way to think about it, that it's actually a really great opportunity to dramatically reduce the impact of corporations and universities and research institutes. And it's been fun, and I'm excited to get everybody who's interested in this topic to partner with My Green Labs to improve their companies, their labs, and their products.